So hello guys, welcome to today's episode on Based on My Opinion podcast. And we have a very interesting guest with us. Make a guess. Someone phenomenal, amazing, and very funny. You know, it's not an easy job to make Nigerian laugh, but this man has done it consistently and perfectly. And here with me is
my name is Osama Akpunonu Longji Junfa Selemafe VBM for short, but for long, very bearded man. Also known as Osama Comedian on social media. I'm the president of the People's Movement, Agaba Agrugoje, and the adopted son of Plateau State.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation today.
The coincident one.
The impromptu. Thank you for your willingness to join this episode.
Yes.
So we just have a few questions today. Our topic is Nigerian versus professionalism, and we decided to bring you on here because you're someone that's been doing this for 15 years. And one thing I know is to make Nigerians laugh is not a small work, because an average Nigerian works under a lot of stress. So my first question will be, what drove you into the career path you chose, which is comedy today?
First thing first, 15 years is for the brand Rhythm of Laughter,
Okay.
which I celebrated January this year, 2026. But this year, as a stand-up comic, I'm 27 years
Wow.
in the comedy industry.
Okay.
So for 27 years, I've been making people laugh.
Wow.
So if we relate that into the other professions, then if it was, let's say, government parastatal, I should have retired as a director or a bouncer, or I was still serving. You can imagine somebody who is a politician for 27 years inside politics.
Yes.
So, but down to our own industry, comedy industry in Nigeria, I'm 27 years in the game.
Wow.
But Rhythm of Laughter is 15 years. Yeah, so, and if you are talking about Nigeria and the professionalism, it depends on the career path. A lot of people are doing their job and they are not professionals.
That's what we're talking about.
There are a lot of people in their different games that are still novice in it. They never went for training.
Oh.
Yeah, there are some people that are naturally blessed, but they are not professionals. So if you're saying Nigeria and professionalism, then it should be relative.
Okay. So that will lead me to my next question. What was that point that you knew, okay, this is something I wanted to take as a profession? Because as you mentioned, someone can be blessed with something, but they're not professionals in it. So what was that point where it's like, I'm going to take comedy as a profession? I know an average Nigerian that you tell, I want to go into comedy, they're like, what are you doing? So what was that point for you that is like, I'm going to make this a profession and make something out of this, make a name and all of that?
When we started comedy, that's why I proudly say we were the OGs before the IG. Yes, there was no social media when we started comedy. And those of us who came into comedy then, or who entered comedy, was a serious passion. And one of the things that drove those passions was hunger. It was hunger. The hunger will, bring out the best in you. And most of us that actually dive into comedy then, because of the passion, was stubbornness. Yes, because most parents of those times will not allow you to do such. I'm taking myself as an example. I was never allowed. So it was when I came into, I knew I had something inside of me, but wasn't polished. I wasn't, it wasn't from the professional angle yet. So I just knew I was, in every human, there's this talent, but how you identify it is what matters. All those times I was in Federal Polytechnic, Bida, 1998, 1999, because I finished secondary school 1996. So I was in Bida Polytechnic, Niger State, 1999, 1998, 1999. So then it was not defined then because I was in church, most of the great people you see today, they all started from church.
Church.
I was in drama group, I was in choir. So when we do all those drama skits and all that, people seems to be very, people laugh. And if I'm having discussions, people laugh. So I knew it's just from inside. But it was when I came to University of Jos, now studied theater, and that was when it got defined. And I had to now face it squarely and took it as a profession.
Okay. So my next question is, what's that thing that defines you as being a professional? Because sometimes when you see people being their authentic self, I notice that they have more engagement to someone that has built like years of putting in the work and all of that. Because in today's world, there are a lot of skit makers that people engage to more than an actual stand-up comedian. So what's that one thing that differentiates a professional than someone just picking up their phone and doing something really funny and everybody's getting engaged to it?
Everybody can be funny, but everybody cannot be comedian. A lot of people you see today, they are funny, but they are not comedians. Why? Because there's difference between stand-up comic, stand-up comedian, and a skit maker or skit or an influencer. So a stand-up comedian remains till he dies, because it's inbuilt. Whenever he still hold the mic, he dishes out whatever God has blessed him with. Now, but Nigeria and the kind of society where, that's why I tell people there is difference between a veteran and you are famous. Most people today are famous, but they are not veterans. Don't know if you understand me.
Sure.
Now, stand-up comic is an act that gets its result on the spot. They're not the rehearsal. If you mistake there, you see it immediately. But skit makers will shoot. They can shoot 3 minutes for a whole day, and they'll go and edit. For stand-up comedy, as you hold mic, your result is before you. And that is why you see most people today are tinting towards social media, because it's the in thing today. I don't need to go on stage, try to get materials to crack my audience up. I don't need to go to a skit maker or an influencer. I don't need to go through that straight to first of all come on stage and study the audience before he knows the kind of jokes he's going to dish out. A skit maker or an influencer can stay in the corner of, just as we now in this studio, and just do that stuff, post, and goes viral. That is why most of them that are skit makers come as special appearance in events. That is why when you invite them on stage, you hear people shout, "Hey!" The what next? I just make a greet to now. How many people see my skit where I post one time? That is not. So that is where. So it's different. A skit maker, an influencer is different from a stand-up comic. I am a stand-up comic. I am not a compet. I am not an MC. I'm a stand-up comedian. That is why you don't see me anchoring weddings. If I anchor any wedding, maybe it's somebody that is so close to me, or my boss, or a relative, or somebody I just want to just do stuff for. But once clients call me, I say, no, I am not, because you will expect me to do more by doing games, doing what is raining now. Those are the things trending now. I'll tell you, no, I am not a wedding MC. I am not an MC. I am a stand-up comic. I do better when you pair me with a compere as co-MC. So when the person is taking the official assignment of the day, in between, I come in fusing my own talent that God has given me as a comedian.
Okay, so my next question is, you had mentioned that before the IGs, they were the OGs.
Yes.
And in today's kind of skits and comedy, I noticed there's a lot of like gender role play where you see men dressed as women and trying to mimic, like you have the when there is Mama D's, Auntie this
Mama
and
Diola,
that. Yeah, all this
and
kind of
a Sawan.
yeah, and I notice it's a trend because people engage to it more and
No,
stuff.
now hustle. Now hustle. It wasn't supposed to be so, but now hustle. And once it's trending, everybody wants to go in. And you know, most times when a guy comes out to dress like a lady or behave like ladies, it seems to attract the female gender more. You understand? And when a guy comes out to dress like a to mimic a character of maybe one of those our aunties, those is like Mama Diola does, it attracts. It takes you back. I know that people wants to watch and want, most especially when they do it well. It's just like the other professions. When you go to a nails, a hairdresser or a nail salon, you see most ladies prefer the guys handling their nails.
Yes, true.
So you see, I know, I love the guy. He does the hair well more than their gender. So you see, sometimes when you go to a salon where it is guys are handling, you find more female genders. So that's where it just be. So, but what you drive that? Also, hunger. Then when you, one thing first, naturally, hunger will push. There's this passion, it pushes you there. That's why when you check, when money start coming in, check the person when he started. And now you see that it was funnier, but the person was more funny when it started than now. When money start coming in, you're relaxed. You have management. You have team. You start relaxed because you know why? At that time that you were very funny, you were building the brand.
Yes.
If I use myself as an example, now when I came into Jos, I was building my brand. I was everywhere trying to. I am funny. I am still funny, but it's just that you can't compare that time and now. You understand? But now I've built the brand. So now, to me, I don't know about every other comedians or entertainer. I got to a point. My brand is big. So now, what is the brand now giving back to the society? That was why, and now, have this platform I call People's Movement, holding our leaders accountable and drawing their attention to their civic responsibilities. Because when we keep holding them and they try to do better, the load on some of us will reduce because they will be able to do things that will make the society better and impactful to the generation that we're actually facing, because we are the millennials.
Okay.
Now we're facing the Gen Zs.
So I have two more questions. The second to the last on the list is, what has been your biggest sustainer? Because you said hunger, and I feel like when somebody is mostly driven by hunger, they're just after the money, and it makes them not focus on. You actually have to, add more skills to this.
Just like a lot of people have left some things that they were doing. Everybody is now facing Facebook. And Facebook was not supposed to be your real and main hustle. It was supposed to be side attraction. Like my own social media is not for money. I'm not monetized. I just do it to impact my society. And that is why you see, if you notice, if people following me on my platform, nothing concerns me national. There are a lot of influencers and activists in the national level. Let them handle that. People like the Randy Peters, Mama P, Prince Will News, Very Dark Man, they are there. Let them do all those ones. But you see me, I'm on the plateau. Anything will concern plateau, because you know why? This is where I live. So everybody they choose in area of concentration. This is where I'm concentrated. Yeah.
So my last question may sound very funny, but on a scale of from 1 to 10, how hard is it to make a Nigerian laugh? Because you have to be really, 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 really funny to make a Nigerian laugh. Because I feel like an average Nigerian is going through a lot of stress, economic stress, financial stress, family stress. Because I've been to comedy show that the person kept on cracking joke, and I'm like, when did the actual joke come in so I could laugh? So On a scale from 1 to 10, how hard is it to make an average Nigerian laugh?
It's not too hard. It depends on the comedian.
Yeah.
From the beginning, let's even start. You would have to check yourself. Are you actually internally funny? Do you have the gift of making people laugh? Because if you are funny, Nigerians are not too difficult to make laugh because the society itself, the country Nigeria is a bunch of comedy. When we are very spontaneous, it will not be difficult to make people laugh. Because once you are very conversant with the news, most especially the Nigeria of today, hunger won't buy people. Sometimes I address Nigerians on behalf of me and my fellow frustrated Nigerians. When you make such statement, everybody understand.
True.
There are a lot of things that are happening. So if you are very good and you are very sensitive with things happening and you are very spontaneous, once you just take a line or come on stage, people will laugh. Because a good comedian is like a mirror. When you stand before the mirror, you see yourself. So when a good comedian is like a mirror to the audience. Mirror in the sense that those things that were in the news yesterday that we heard but will not take them, then you now convert it as joke. When you hit them, it takes them off.
Sure.
So Nigerians are not too difficult to make laugh, except you are not funny.
Okay. So the next question is going to be, for somewhere like Plateau State Jos, there's, a lot, I've seen a lot of artists that were formerly based in Plateau State Jos. What's that one thing that keeps bringing you back to Plateau State? What's that, I don't know, some people say it's a spirit that draws you back. Because even my mom, that Imama I know, that has something really big going on for her. She studied in Jos and she's refusing to leave, and everybody tags Jos as somewhere calm, somewhere slow, things people you can hardly get noticed, and places like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt is bubbly. What's that one thing that just draws you back to Plateau State Jos?
I really don't know too, but I only came to school, and after schooling, if you check all my other colleagues, they all left. The likes of Shakara, MC Shakara, Senator, Funny Bone, they left. But I stayed back. I went in there. It was not my decision. Okay, now this was how it happens. It was Osama and Senator. All this while. So when a senator was leaving for Lagos, he was going to stay with his elder brother that just got married. And I said, okay, Osama, you stay first. When I settle down, you come up. So, but all the while I was staying back, I wasn't lazing around. I was now, doing my hustle and all that. So until that crisis in 2008, between 2008 to 2010, via 11. So I was attending Living Faith Church then. So Pastor Dingamadi will always bring me up. They call me then Osama bin Christ because it's church and all that. So I and all that. So when I saw that crisis time, entertainment was already off. So I told her, most times you have spiritual father, and so I went to confide in him. I said, Daddy, let's say I go finally leave, just go Lagos. Those are office chairs. He rotated, he just laughed and came out and looked at me and said, let me tell you something. It is not in the relocating, but seeking the favor of location from God. I key to those words. He has further explained that it's not in the relocating in the sense that it's not difficult for me to just carry my bag now and leave. But when I seek the favor of location, from God, it's just like you're in the dark when the light shines on you. I key into that. Then that urge and determination of living just. So what I did, I now stayed back. I was not doing my stuff here. Now, that was how I was doing. My name was now going. My name was now, going around. Then until I played Crack Your Ribs in Abuja, AY saw me. Then from there, AY featured me 2014 on AY Live, Lagos. When everything now, when I went viral,
yes,
from the bone, oh yeah, this is the opportunity for you to leave. I said, no, everybody cannot be in Lagos. Let me stay here.
Everybody cannot be in Lagos.
And build there, because everybody don't come out. The entertainment that you see here today, I am not, sometimes I just feel like bragging because I'm right. When entertainment went dead, this show, 2 p.m., red carpet show, 3 p.m., now me started. When entertainment died because of the crisis, I was the only one doing show 1 p.m. because curfew was 7 p.m. So from church, a lot of people will come to Plateau Rock Garden straight, because I never allowed it die. We will now do the show, everybody will go. So that was how we now resorted to this afternoon show that is still happening today. Then now, from the same Jos, I have gone around everywhere. There is no show in this country I have not played. There is nobody in this comedy industry you mention my name with, no. Understand? But whenever I go anywhere, I still come back here. And that is why whenever they grant me interview outside, I'm a dope-born, just based Niger hustler. There you see one thing. All those my colleagues in Lagos, most of them is make believe. Why do people leave just to Lagos to go and make it? But what of if I had left and I not be what I be today? Because most of my colleagues in that Lagos are far better than them. But you know the way I live my life? They say, behave as if you cannot afford a loaf of bread until they discover you own the bakery. You see here where they so they know the envy who they pity. You see, I like myself. You cannot mention anybody. Here in the whole north. Yeah. You hear people call me king of the north. Not me give myself hope. Now people they call me. I rather come as a servant of the north because I'm serving.
Yes.
Now, see now. Another example, 15 years I have brought almost everybody that you know in the comedy industry to just here. Meanwhile, some of my colleagues in Lagos, where they say that they live with them for that Lagos, I've not been able to bring them to their own show in Lagos, where we say, I just drive, people will drive. It's not me, it's God Almighty. So sometimes in every area you are, God has somebody that He will use to announce that place. So I feel I'm the person that was used to announce Plateau. And that's why the entertainment today is still what it is.
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, from this whole thing, one thing I've taken out of this is nobody the envy, who they the pity.
Yes.
I feel like that's my own take here. Like, if you know how to hide yourself properly.
Yes, because it is what you...
Nobody will stress.
It is what you bring out, people know.
True.
And one thing I want to advise people, do not put unnecessary pressure on yourself. People, they try just make believe. Fake it until you make it. I'm not that kind of person. Everybody is showing up on social media. I don't show. Whatever you say is none of my business. You understand? Now me wear shoe, know the toe where they pinch me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And God bless
so
Plateau.
Much.
God bless the entertainers on the Plateau who keep grinding. If you check the level of entertainment right now on the Plateau, it is individual collectivity, individual hustle. But we'll get there one day where companies will come in full to start supporting it. But before then, we'll keep grinding.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Of course.
Mugode.
Thank you. Yeah. I am the most honored having someone I would literally call the backbone of entertainment in Plateau State, and taking it for this long is not easy. So people like this should be applauded for keeping Nigerians laughing this long and not giving up on his dream and still staying a professional in the field of comedy. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For this episode.
My pleasure.